Hello, so every time I said Pandora, my Pandora list is completed, I have a list of an abandoned wish list of Pandora, and one or two of them from that abandoned wish list would have popped up. And so this is one of them. I wasn't sure if I wanted this or not, but my mind goes back to my BTS bracelet, which is the bracelet that started all this videos on this channel, because really my collecting Pandora charms is completely driven by wanting to compose this bracelet over here, which I've already talked about in a previous video. So of course I saw the collaboration Star Wars and the Disney. Those are really great, but those were more of a distraction, and I love them. But so I just want to tell you why I ended up picking this up, because there's a lot of, the thing about charms that's bead foam like this is that they move around all over the bracelet. The old-fashioned charm bracelet, I feel, is probably the most practical. Each of the charm hooked into a chain link and it stays there. And each of these charms are interchangeable with any bracelets. But of course, it's not a very good business model, because it means that you are not forced to be loyal to one particular brand, in a way that you are forced to return to Pandora for compatibility, for making sure that your warranty isn't voided, because this lock is proprietary, is this one here. And of course, it means the diameter of this is as such, and it means that the thing had to be threaded in there, and if it's not threaded, it has to be big enough to be able to go through this, etc., etc. You get the idea. You have this clip station, therefore then you have to get clips, because you want all these to line up properly instead of just falling all in one spot because of gravity, and so on and so forth. So I'm a reluctant collector. I'll probably do a separate video, or maybe I'll talk about it here, I don't know. I'm a reluctant collector because collecting should be for collecting's sake. Collecting should be for collecting the sake of the item and no more. I am trying to serve another purpose, not a bigger purpose, bigger for me, but that is to commemorate this interesting era of BTS. I kind of found them just as the pandemic hit, and so really I'm pretty late in the, really late to the party. And so some argued that they've passed their peak in terms of what kind of band they were, or they had been so far, and as they grow up into young men or of their late 20s and early 30s and older, this will have to change. And so we don't know what kind of band they're going to be, and essentially what made them so popular around the world kind of perhaps ended where I came in. So that's my point. My point is that this for me served a bigger purpose, a personal purpose that is only valuable to me. I know that. So I really was quite happy. I was wearing this around, and it sort of, everything sits just nice, and because of the weight, these guys tend to go towards the bottom because of gravity, but because of the lightness of this one, this tends to stay there, and these two that's quite heavy tend to then move over that way. So a lot of the times the bracelet sort of sit like that, and this one sparkle really well, and this complement each other, and this complement each other, and everything worked really nicely. And then I noticed that this part here is completely empty, because I'm too scared of putting anything here because it might, get lost. But I can't move this clip over here, because then that's leaving the clip station here exposed, and I was told that it isn't very good for it to have a clip station exposed, because then all these beads that doesn't have threading, or maybe the ones that have threading, will start going back and forth across it, and it apparently wears it out or something like that. Anyway, long story short, long story I guess, I wanted something here so that I can put something here to distribute the weight evenly. So for the moment, we have one member, the astronaut, Jack in the Box, Wildflower representation title track to represent Indigo. This is the Purple Love, Love Purple Borahe, the, you know, I Purple You, whatever. This one here to separate the years, 2022, 2023. This is Jimin's Face album, which I still don't know anything about because it hasn't dropped yet. The teaser's out, but based on the teaser of the album cover and concept, that's the sort of the ripple effect. You know, the inside has a ripple effect and it's going out through your face, through your skin and into the world, expressing your authentic self. Butterfly for the single on the Street, J-Hope and J. Cole. And then that's kind of, so I'm thinking the other two guys, or the other three, one of the senior member, as in the older, who's currently who's going into a tour, Agust D, Yoongi, part of the rap line. There's Yoongi, there's Namjoon, and there is Hobie. So there is this guy here, there's this guy here, which is also this guy. No, there's this guy here, J-Hope here, which is this guy's J-Hope, and there is RM. And Yoongi is on a tour, so he is a producer. So he's one of the, I believe, to be the backbone of the musical creation of the team, the three of them. The leader RM, the lyricist, the one whose album is Indigo, Wildflower is the title track, the J-Hope, this is the most musical in my opinion. Jack in the Box, he lyrics, produces, as well as melody, beat, and dance. He is the most, I think he's a genius. He has been overshadowed by a lot more charismatic, if not the more visually appealing members. But I believe he's a real backbone, and RM, the leader, was right when he almost quit at the formation of the band. RM, this guy, is right that the team will not make it without J-Hope, without this guy, and I think he was right. So anyway, the other two, or the third of the rap line, who is a producer mainly, I'm hoping that he might come up with something before he enlists, but I doubt it, because he did say that he had a creative burnout, and he doesn't know, that he doesn't have anything else to say. And as a rapper, you have to be a lyricist, and you have to have something to say, because it is rhythm and poetry, it is self-declaration, it is an expression of angst most of the times, and he just doesn't have much to say anymore. So I doubt he'll drop anything before enlisting in the mandatory military service. The younger member, the two younger members, the youngest one who keep going live, and I think he is probably resting. He's been working since he was 13 or 14, and he's mid-20s now, 26. I don't know. He was supposed to be working on an album, and it sounded like he's given up on it because he's just too tired. And so he's, you know, being the youngest, I think the dynamic is different. So I doubt it. The other one who has this, I told you that I link it down below again, the one who covered "Is Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas," and this voice, it reminds me of Bing Crosby, Nat King Cole. This heavy bass baritone. He could sing in an opera, in a musical. He could be a jazz singer. He has an amazing voice. And I was hoping that he might drop something, but I don't know. So I'm going to leave that like that. So this is really driven by needing another clip here, but a clip that's neutral enough, that doesn't interfere with the other symbols, but at the same time part of the other symbols. And so really the flower is the easiest for me to get. And so I have this flower, that flower, that flower, and in a way a lot of these are the wildflower, you know, that or the representation of, I think in Korean, fireworks is called fire flowers. I'm not sure, but if that's the fire flowers, you know, the dynamite, the firework, that it has been their career, then I thought that could be a fitting tribute in this bracelet that is essentially focusing on 2022 until 2025, their mandatory military service, enlistment, as well as their solo projects. And so the flowers is just the easiest, you know, way for me to get clips and whatnot that is neutral enough, but visually sort of doesn't clash too much with the bracelet. So yeah, so I am so glad I get this locally, because if I buy from eBay, just the shipping alone would have costed me the price of one of these. And so I kind of, there are like this one here, I found this on eBay and I spend money on shipping it, and then one popped up locally. So there are moments like that which really, but this one is really hard to find, this one, so I'm not too regretful about that. This is local, this is local, this is local, this is local, local. So it's this one that I kind of probably, and a lot of the collabs, the thing about the collabs is that you either wait for one to turn up locally or you miss out on it, you know, at a reasonable price from the international market. And so it's the, yeah, the consideration is making a judgment in terms of paying a little bit more now and get it, or wanting to wait until the cheapest possible and never get it. And because I don't want to spend too much more time collecting Pandora, I chose the first, which is to pay a little bit more and get it now, and so then I don't have to worry about it anymore. So that's because I'm trying to get this bracelet going. The others are simply collecting, so it doesn't really worry me whether I get them or not, like the Baby Yoda or the Grogu in a crib. Grogu and crib, for example, is something that I wish I have, but it doesn't really matter. If I have it, I have it. If I don't, I don't. And these are simply, like these ones are simply, I'm kind of repeating myself now, but these are simply something that popped up that never really was searching, but then I'm attracted to its aesthetic, and at the same time it reminds me of something about BTS, so I grabbed them. The others, as I've mentioned in my collection video, are simply lovely to look at, and I really like it, and I just grab it, and then I'll think about what they will represent some other time. Like the Mary Poppins carpet bag, for example, that popped up locally at a fraction of the price, and so that's something else. But it is what it is, you know. It's just part of the game, I suppose. So yeah, that is it. Bye.